said it was true love, 'cause I think's the kind of thing I'll never understand. I used to think I was smart, like a goddamn vampire. Alright guys, sorry about that. I was having a moment. Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo is just such a good song that every time it comes in on my headphones, like I have to finish it. So it just happened to be coming on when I was setting up for this video. Anyway, hello, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Angelisa, and on this channel we talk about books. And today we are going to be doing my September wrap up. So these are the 11 books that I finished in September. I'm just gonna move them over here so my camera doesn't try to focus. And then I also have 2 that I'm in the middle of that we'll just put on top of there. And yeah, so we're gonna do September wrap up today, talk about all of the books I've read in September. But first, as always, we're gonna do my storygraph statistics. All right, so in September, I read a total of 11 books, which equates to 3,736 pages. So that's quite a bit. For the moods of my books, most of them were tense, mysterious, emotional, which is interesting to me, followed by dark and adventurous, and then the last 3 were lighthearted, funny, and reflective. So it seems like most of the books that I read this month were closer to like the dark and mysterious side versus being like very lighthearted and funny. Most of them were like the average page count, 300 to 499. One of them was under 300 pages. I think that was probably like a novella. All of them were fiction. As for genres, I read 7 romances somehow. I don't know how. 4 young adult, 4 thriller, 3 dystopian, 3 contemporary, 2 mystery, and 1 fantasy. And my average star rating this month was 4.18 stars. So I kind of had a better reading month, I think, this month in terms of quality, but my ratings were like all over the place, which we'll get into. Okay, we're just gonna start at the very beginning of the month. Okay, so right at the beginning of the month, I started off with a reading vlog that basically was all popular mystery thriller authors, and I was really excited to do this video. I've done a reading only mystery books in the past, but these were 3 specific authors that I was really excited about their books or trying them as a new author. So I started off with reading The Housemaid by Frieda McFadden. I ended up rating this 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. You can watch the reading vlog for my full thoughts, but I thought the twist was really fun. I thought the suspense was really great, and like the thrill was very thrilling. It was a little bit dark, which is probably where a lot of those dark moods came from, was because of these thrillers. And I haven't read The Housemaid's Secret yet, but I do have it, so I'm excited to read it eventually. I just didn't feel myself needing to read it right away because this kind of finished off in a very like I was good with the ending, meaning like I didn't feel like it was going to continue, but I guess The Housemaid's Secret is kind of a continuation in a way. But yeah, really enjoyed this, would definitely recommend, and I understand where all the hype is about, and I'm definitely gonna try Frieda McFadden's other books. They all are kind of like this one word, like the something, like The Inmate. I can't remember any other ones right now for some reason, but they're usually like something like this. So yeah, I'm excited to try her other books. Next, I ended up reading The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I ended up rating this I think I said 3 stars, and then I lowered it to 2.5 stars. I feel like the concept was really interesting. You know, these people who are at a wedding, everything is going great. You know, there's an implication that the island might be haunted. There's a body that's found very early on in the book, and we're going like back and forth of the night before up until like what happened now with this body. And it was interesting, but honestly, the first 200 pages were just talking about these people's personal lives, and it just a lot of backstory that dragged out for a long time, and the reveals that it ended up being that related to those backstories weren't all that great and didn't really like give anything to the mystery element of this. So yeah, it kind of read as like a contemporary fiction with a backstory, like a side story of mystery thriller, because really the last 100 pages was what was good. And I feel like I should lower this rating even more for that reason, but I don't want to be mean. Like, the concept was good. The writing style was fine. Oops. It was just a lot of the details I think were unnecessary. But yeah, I don't know. And then next I read The Only One Left by Riley Sager, and I ended up rating this 5 stars. I really did enjoy this book. It follows this lady who's now in her 70s, and when she was a teenager, she was accused of basically like massacring her whole family. Now she's in her 70s and she has a home health aide, and she's had like a lot of strokes, so she's not able to really like communicate properly. But this home health aide has figured out how to communicate with her using a typewriter, so they've started to like basically write the story of what really happened that night that everything kind of went crazy, and the big rumor that is about this woman. So yeah, such an interesting read. The twists were crazy in Riley Sager fashion, and I loved this so much. I've seen like mixed reviews on it. Some people really loved it. Some people thought it was really slow. I personally loved the build-up and the whole kind of like historical fiction story element that you got to it. I thought it was really fun, and I would love to see this in a movie or like a limited series on Netflix or something. I thought it was so much fun. After that, I read After I Do by Tahereh Jenkins Reid. So I ended up rating this 3 stars, surprisingly. I've read her other books that are part of this backlist, such as Maybe in Another Life. I rated One True Loves and Maybe Another Life both 5 stars. So I was really surprised that I didn't really enjoy this. I thought it was... Honestly, I don't know. It was just... Basically, it's about this couple who they decide to spend a year apart because their marriage isn't like working out for them. So they thought maybe spending a year apart would kind of help them remember like why they loved each other or something like that. And at first it was like, okay, the concept is that they're supposed to focus on themselves while they're apart. So I thought I was going to see a lot of character growth, a lot of character development, but there wasn't that. Honestly, neither of the characters really worked on themselves much. And then a year later, you're kind of like, it's hard to still root for them being together. So yeah, for that reason, I didn't enjoy it as much as the first 2, but I still love Tahereh Jenkins Reid's writing and how she tells a story, so that's why I gave it 3 stars. Next, I did a reading vlog for one of my, I have to say, favorite books ever, and it's Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I decided to do a reading vlog for this because it would be my first time ever reading it, and it's technically the first book in the series, and I ended up deciding that I think I'm going to do a reading vlog for every book, just like even if nobody wants to watch it, for my own documentation, because I know this is going to be a well-loved series of mine, and I regret not filming me reading ACOTAR, but that was before I had a YouTube account, so bear with me on that. But yeah, anyway, I love this so much. Obviously, I rated it 5 stars. It was filled with action, and I love the little like love triangle situation that goes on in here. People said that this wasn't a romance series, that's more of a fantasy, but honestly the amount of romance that was in this one was enough to keep me intrigued, and yeah, I loved it so much. And this is the copy that has the Dusty Shop overlays, so I got to read it with like that being part of my experience for the first time, and that was lots of fun. I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend checking out the reading vlog to see my full thoughts. But yeah, loved it so much, and yeah. Anyway, next I read another little romance, and it was Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. So this I ended up rating 3.5 stars. It was a cute book. I enjoyed it. I like didn't really like not enjoy reading it. Basically, this girl moves into her dead dad's house to clean up the house to sell in her old hometown. So she hasn't been there for a while, and she encounters her neighbor who she's convinced is a serial killer. So I thought that this was going to be a book that was very like romance, yes, but I thought there was going to be like more serial killer elements to it, and basically she's obsessed with serial killers because that's like what her dissertation is on and like what she's studying her PhD about, like true crime. But this serial killer plot kind of ended around like 100 pages, and the rest of it was just like a regular rom-com. So yeah, for that reason it wasn't like exactly what I expected it was going to be, but it was still really cute. I love the inclusion of having a nerdy male main character and cats, and the female main character's best friend and brother were really funny characters. This is a he falls first, which I loved, and it is a little bit spicy. I loved how sweet and caring Sam was. Like, I just really loved Sam's character. Like, he was just adorable, and I don't know. I love Sam's character. Like, I can't. There were also a lot of good conversations about like complex family dynamics, mental health, grief, like that type of stuff. So I did enjoy that element. But like, I don't know. I think the serial killer like lack of really just let me down. And it still just wasn't like a 5-star romance to me. I loved Sam's character and all that, but it's still, yeah. And there were, for me, like issues with the ending. I thought the ending cleared up like really too quick, and there was still a lot of issues with the main characters and like their compatibility that weren't really solved before they ended up together. And I wish that we could have seen how they worked out the logistics of the relationship rather than it just being written that like they did, because the things that like they were worried about were very like realistic things. I think a lot of people would benefit from like reading about how to like go through them. So yeah, I wish it just like didn't skip to happily ever after. But yeah, anyway, still a really cute book, and I picked up Alicia Thompson's next book, With Love from Cold World. It's like a wintry kind of romance, so yeah, I'm excited for it still, and we're gonna see how it goes. Next, I was continuing a reading vlog that I had started in August, but I only posted it in September, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But it was the Shatter Me reading vlog, and I read these 3 books in September. Starting off with Unravel Me, I rated this 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this book. Definitely go watch the reading vlog for my full thoughts, but this is basically the second book in the series after reading the first book and the first novella called Destroy Me. I read both of those in August, but then I got to start Unravel Me at the beginning of this month, and it did take me like all month to read, but I still loved it so much. It was just because I was reading so many other books in between, but I loved it so much, and I understand the hype around Aaron Warner and why everybody loves him so much. And then after that, I read Fracture Me, and this was Adam's point of view of like halfway through Unravel Me / the ending of it and after it, and I ended up rating this 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It was good to get his point of view. There was additional plot points. There were some things that I really hated about Adam in this book, and I don't know if this is like one of those like A Court of Thorns and Roses situations. But yeah, didn't love him, but still love Kenji so much. Kenji is amazing. And then after that, I read Ignite Me, and this is basically the 3rd book in the first like installment of Shatter Me series, and I rated this 4.75 stars. It was so good. The plot in this really picked up, and I loved all the characters and like their development in it, and just getting to see Juliet's development from book 1 to here was amazing after the fact. And at first I was a little bit confused about the writing style and what was going on, but now I understand it so much. And this author, I don't want to like butcher her name, but that's the name. Amazing, just an amazing writer, and I'm excited to read the second installment of the series. But yeah, this wasn't quite a 5-star for me. I don't know if it's just because dystopian isn't my usual like forte, but yeah, I really enjoyed this still. Next, I read Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood, and this was amazing. I rated it 4.75 stars. This is definitely one of my new favorite Ali Hazelwood books. I think The Love Hypothesis is still up there, followed by this one, and then Love on the Brain. I loved her, what are they called? The novellas as well. Ali Hazelwood's writing is just so good. And this one was definitely more science-y, but I actually enjoyed it. The chronic illness / condition rep is amazing in this, and just like seeing like what it talks about, like the reality of people's work and health insurance situations in the United States. And honestly, even in Canada, like it's expensive here too, even though we have free healthcare, and just the wages that we get paid and the health benefits that we get sometimes is not the best. So yeah, I loved Jack's character. This was another like he falls first kind of thing, and Jack was just amazing. So yeah, I love this book so much. Wasn't quite a 5-star. It was so close. I don't know what was missing for me, but it was very close. So 4.75 stars. And lastly, I started a series that I am doing a reading vlog for, so stay tuned. But everyone's been talking about this series. It is the Natural series. I read the first book in September and I ended up rating this 4.5 stars. I would have rated 5 stars, but you know when like, you know, it's part of a series and you know that this can't be like the best book in the series because like the series is following it. And this was also only like 300 pages. So for that reason, I was like, I don't know, I feel like there's more to come. And yeah, we got a lot of introduction to the characters. So there was a plot, but it started like later in the book. So yeah, I ended up rating this one 4.5 stars, but I did end up starting Killer Instinct, and this one started right into plot, like right in the beginning, and it is a little bit longer than the first one. So I think my rating for the first one ended up making sense. But yeah, this is a book that I've started in September, haven't finished it. I think I might honestly be on page 100. I don't remember. Oh, I'm on page like 41. Okay, I'm not on page 100. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, it's already started like straight into plot. So I'm very excited about that. I'm also in the middle of Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I'm on page 146. I'm literally like filming the reading vlog right now because this book comes out in a few days and I got it early, and I'm pretty sure it's been at bookstores very early. So some of you may already have it, may have already read it. But yeah, when I got this in the mail, I'm so excited about it. So I decided to start a reading vlog, and so far I am enjoying it. And I'm not gonna say like my full thoughts yet because I'm only halfway through and I feel like it's not fair to say my thoughts yet. You know, I just kind of realized that I have a stain on my shirt, so we're just gonna ignore that because I've already freaking recorded the whole wrap up. Anyway, guys, that is all of the books that I read in September / I'm still in the middle of. I really wanted to finish these 2 books before September ended, but so I could include my thoughts in here, but it just didn't happen. So stay tuned for my October wrap up / the reading vlogs that are going to come out for these. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Comment down below if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts were, and comment down below what you read in September. I always love to hear what you guys have read and what your thoughts were and get more recommendations, so comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah. Anyway, I hope you have a good day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!